Deepak, is that class started now only or just 7 o'clock?
No, we are just, I'm just getting the access. The class is not started yet. Just
Right.
download this file and, no, wait. Cross, download this file. Yeah,
Okay.
share this with Ayush.
Yes.
You'll share with me.
Uh, okay.
Yeah, Ayush, once you got, you can share with me.
Yeah, sure.
Just 1 minute. I'm doing that only.
So here, uh, like anyone, like everyone of you, like are you anyone of you like familiar with this ECS or EKS uh, concepts or services? This AWS, like have you explored this or it's new for everyone?
I have explored the basic things like the VPC. Then I am related to network more. I basically explore.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, did you share?
Yes. WhatsApp. I shared it. Are you split it?
Okay,
Yeah,
currently.
yeah, Deepak, I got that.
Okay, share it with me. I'm sharing my
Right.
screen and let's start.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Just sharing it.
I believe we have, let me know if my screen is visible.
Yes, it is.
So yes, I believe in the last session we have talked about this. I believe few of the guys have joined this recently. So let's discuss this thing one by one. So today what we'll discuss is like this is both like this one is nothing but ECS based cluster where your application will get destroyed, like where your application will get deployed. And this is something like EKS based workload or the cluster setup where your application will get deployed. So let's start with like networking concept. We'll start with a few fundamental because it is very necessary before you like go directly to automation and all. The first thing is that you must be comfortable with creation of networking through manual way. Otherwise, if you directly jump into this automation part, you will not be having any idea like what to configure and how the things are been working here. Okay, is everyone comfortable? More like what I am saying.
Uh, yes, Deepak.
Well, let's start with VPC, so networking part. Uh, so in if we talk about this AWS now, we have a service named VPC. There is a service named VPC which will help you to create your networking. Like this VPC is the service which will help you to create your networking uh, isolation. So this this the bigger bracket is nothing but this is AWS network or AWS infrastructure, this orange one. And you must have known like there are many vendors, like there are many clients, like AWS has many clients now. So uh, so probably everyone is running their workload here only in this AWS. This whole is nothing but AWS infrastructure, this orange line. And there are a lot of AWS account, and in each AWS account, they will be having a lot of like networking setup and everything. So this VPC service provides you a network layer and network level isolation. So let's say this is what you call this is your networking, or what you can say. client one. Let's say there is organization, what you call ops, Zilla. Opzilla has some AWS account and they have created a VPC. Then another, let's say another, what you can say, someone said like Chrome, like let's say this is another organization which is like running their infrastructure in AWS. But let's say they have this virtual machine running here in this, they have virtual machine running here. But there will be a case where this, if there is, if you don't have any networking layer isolation, so probably this virtual machine is deployed here, this virtual machine is deployed there. There is a chance that this both virtual machine can talk to each other. This can happen because in AWS infrastructure. But how AWS isolate this is nothing but it introduces you this VPC, this VPC concept. This VPC will help you to create a isolation between your like workload, whatever you are running, and it will get isolated from other like other customer interest like workload. Are we on the same page? Like, are you guys like getting what I am telling? Yes, no?
Yes, Deepak.
Yes.
Okay. Now let's move to another thing. So this VPC, I'm not aware, like, let me know if you guys are aware with this CIDR. Do you know what is CIDR?
That is a CIDR range. Basically,
Okay.
allocation of the IPs within the VPC, numbers of IP.
Okay. 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 So if we talk like very in simple words now. So let's say this is a EC2 machine, like virtual machine. This virtual machine, whenever if you see like EC2, so basically whenever you spin any virtual machine, or the best example is that you have your home routers. So you have a single router. Let's say this is a router, and you have mobiles, laptop, everything like this is mobile, or you have multiple this devices which connect to this router for internet access. So when your router connect with this, like whenever your device connect with this router, if you currently like this devices gets an IP. So where they are getting IP from? So basically your router have a pool of IPs. Um, so in like in human, like in real world, how we identify each other through name, no? That's all. And in this virtual world, like how this router, let's say I have this is my smartphone, I have connected to this router, and this like internet, like in a broader view, if you talk they here, like this is your ISP, internet, like ISP provider. Some of you will be using the Geo, or some of you will be using Airtel or other provider. So this router is connected to your this ISP. So let's say I am using my smartphone or laptop. I type google.com. So this traffic will get initiated from here, and it will go to router, then it will go to my ISP, and then through ISP it will go to the somewhere Google data center, and then your this you will get in response the Chrome or the Google page. So, but how this router will identify that traffic gets initiated from here, and then it will serve like google.com to this only. So that identifies nothing but the IP and the MAC address. Let's skip the MAC as of now, but higher at, at a very high level, that's how your router identifies that this like that's how your device get an internet access, and like talk to, like it can access like anything from the internet. This is the way. So whenever you connect to the router, you get an IP. There is a more complex like protocol happens, like there is a DHCP protocol happen through which you get the IP. But that's how things work at a high level. So everyone got this? Yes, no?
Yes, Deepak.
Okay, now let's talk about Cider. So Cider, someone was telling it's a like it's a ranges of IP. So basically, Cider means nothing but it's a pool of like yeah, I will talk in a very generic way. Like I won't be going that much too much technical because technical things you can read from blogs. But in a general way, I want to explain things. So so this VPC, when you create VPC in your
Hi,
AWS
hi,
account,
hi, Deepak. Sorry to interrupt. This is Srikanth.
yeah, yeah, hi Shrikant.
Did anybody represented from the development team?
Uh,
No, right?
no,
Sorry, actually, we had no clue. Right.
Sorry,
I
you had
have pinged
what?
Abhishek.
Abhishek. Abhishek, he thought session will start at 7 and he waited there. At 7:30, he is not available, unfortunately. Okay. And the update for you is they just started, developing the backend. Okay. And they will take 2 weeks of time to do it, it seems. Okay. So
Okay.
now my question to you is, in the meanwhile, what can we do? Okay. Can we proceed and do some configurations before the backend is ready? Or should we deploy onto Netlify and use Superbase to get the application up and running, or we wait? Okay, that's a question to
Actually, I have a
you.
I have a suggestion on this. We can go with
Uh-huh.
the infrastructure part. Hello, hi Srikanth.
Okay,
So what my suggestion is that we can proceed with the infrastructure part. That is also quite lengthy and all. So we can meanwhile we can set up all of those things, and once the code is done, then we can proceed with the CI/CD part. Hello.
okay. So in worst
Yeah.
case, what if the code is not ready within 2 weeks? What is the alternative we got?
Alternative. Okay. So in that
We
case,
can and yeah, we can basically start with deploying that front end only to any of the cluster. Like for our production, you want this ECS, and for
Hmm.
development, we have created a roadmap, so it will like take time to like teach everyone this EKS based on an ECS, like how because we are starting with networking only. Today I will talk about networking. We have created a roadmap. If Ayush can share that,
yeah,
we'll
Deepak,
I
share
would
that's
the.
like to
very
have the end date also. Okay, on when we will be completing this project. I don't want at this point, okay, while implementing, I don't want us to give more time to explain things to everybody. Okay, we should be busy completing the deployment, and in the workshop we can
Okay.
take time to explain things to each and everybody.
okay, Srikanth, got
The
your point.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, actually, one of I think someone from the team said that he joined today, na, so that's why we started
you're
explaining.
recapping.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Keep
So
that
to,
recording about the project walkthrough handy. Okay, make a note of the date. It will be in Microsoft Teams. Okay, so I mean, if multiple people are asking at different times, different dates, right, to recap, we cannot definitely go again and again. Okay, we shall ask them to uh, go through the recording. Okay. Anyway, LMS is coming up. Okay, I'll also share the link of that particular recording where we walk through.
Shrikant, if you
Okay,
can
for now you can go
share
ahead.
this.
Okay, who is that?
Shrikant, this is Leela Krishna. If you can share this project Teams group, I'll join that in the Teams and there I can find the recordings if I'm lagging behind.
Yeah, Leela, you must be part of it under AWS DevOps projects. Okay,
No, I'm
I'll add
not
you
there
there
in
if
that. Yeah,
you're not
sorted.
there.
Works. Yeah.
Okay, let me add you there then.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So go with the infrastructure configuration, Deepak. Okay.
So this is only I was talking about. So we got this AWS account right now. We'll configure everything, yes, like tomorrow. But conceptually, I am telling everything like what all resources I will be using and how I will be configuring this thing. I will show
Okay.
if one of my account. This is another account. I will show everything here, like, and I will provision the similar thing in the account, like recent account, which someone has provided, like Abhishek has provided. Uh, so the fundamentally, I am explaining like what all components are included while provisioning this networking part. So this is Cider. So Cider is nothing but a pool of IPs. So there's a CIDR dot XYZ. So this is a uh, like website which you can use. So Cider, which you can use to explore. So let's take a pretty much simple Cider. So you can see here. So uh, count of IPs. Let's take. There's another calculator. Okay, let's take 10.0.0.0. So here, if you carefully see here, the slash 32, slash 31, everyone has some meaning. So this basically there is a formula which you can use to calculate. So this will tell you nothing but the IP pool. So if you carefully see here, slash 32 means one IP. So there is a formula like you can see like uh, CITR formula. So if you carefully see here, this zeros will have 8 octet. Here you can see. So this whole thing, every bit has something, but like they are 8 bits. So basically, uh, so this means basically each bit how you are basically converting this thing and cutting the pool of IPs. So if carefully see here, if this slash one means how much IP you will be getting. This is something crores. Okay, there is a lot of IP. Let's take a pretty much simple. So if you do slash 21 means uh the basically it will start from here and then it will end here. The IP and the total number of IPs you will be getting is this 2000 IP range. So basically each so let's this will be the your first IP and then the next IP will be you will basically put one here. Let's take it pretty much simple. So let me paste here. So if you carefully see here, this is your first IP. So what will be your next IP? Your next IP will be this.
Wait,
What
Deepak.
will
Uh, so are you guys aware of this cider cutting and like this all? So we can like skip this part and directly jump to that. Otherwise, Deepak will explain this. Hello?
Little explanation will be helpful. Ayush and Deepak, if
Okay, okay,
possible.
okay, okay.
okay
Okay,
because
always.
the
Okay. Mhm. Yeah, Deepak,
so
please proceed.
So basically, when we define this VPC, that's how you create like the IP. So uh, this this is how your next IP and like how much this will go. So this will go like up to 255. So now here you can see this is nothing but like how you say in first bit, if you go, you will be getting, let's say here 28 8. So when you count this, the whole one, you will get like in this phase only, you will be getting from here to here. You will be, if you calculate carefully, so what, how much IP you get? 256 something. Like if you like from 1 to 255, then the 0 1. So what will be your next IP? Your next IP you will be getting is this one, this. And what will be the last IP of this? After this, what will be
1.255.
1 and then 1.255. Then similarly, what will be your next IP? Next IP set you will be getting is nothing but you will just increment this and then you will make this as 0. So that's how this is nothing but the pool of IPs. So if I define here this, the 8, let's take this. If I define this as /8, where is /8? So it is nothing but this much amount of IPs I am telling to create here only. So basically, this means this /8. If you create this, then /8. So basically, this VPC I have created and I can deploy this much amount of virtual machine hypothetically, but because some resources in AWS will like it will capture 2 3 IPs, but hypothetically this much amount of virtual machine I can deploy here in VPC. So that's how this is nothing but the cider, what you call cider is. So did you guys got the fundamental of this cider? Like what is cider is? Cider is nothing but a pool of IPs. So if let's say if I deploy any virtual machine here, no, this virtual machine here. So uh, basically dynamically I will get a IP for this virtual machine. Let's say this will get associated with this. So this virtual machine I will get IP like this. So if I deploy some another virtual machine, it will like I will get like dynamically another IP of this from this pool of IPs. There is another concept I will explain, but this is what cider is. Is this clear? Like at the first point, this cider topic is quite complex, but as we do provision this resource again and again, like you will be like feel much more comfortable with this. But at a high level, did you got like what is cider and how you provision, like how your virtual machine get the IPs and how your virtual machine, like what is cider and the correlation between this VPC cider and your virtual machine, how they got the IPs? Yes, no.
Yes, Deepak understood.
Okay, now let's
Deepak,
go.
I just have one
Yeah,
question. So all
yeah.
these basically IP treated as a private IP, right? They are not publicly exposed.
Yeah, so basically there are two concepts. You get public IP and private IP both, but it completely depend on like how you configure your virtual machine, where you are deploying. The next concept is what I am like I will cover. So there you will like get to know how your like where you will getting those public IP and where you will be getting those private IP.
Okay.
So this is a very high level, and now let's talk about there is another concept like subnetting. So let me talk about this. So once you created this pool of IP, you will create a subnet. So subnet is nothing but cutting these IPs like more granular. so that you can deploy your virtual machine into subnet. You cannot deploy directly your virtual machine into VPC, but there is a concept, there is a subnetting. Basically, you need to create there. So let me cover this thing. So let's say you have created. Let's take a very simple one. /16. Okay, let's create this as /16. Okay. So how much IP you will be getting? This much amount of IPs you will be getting. Okay. Now, basically, you have to create a subnet. Subnetting is nothing but you are dividing this thing into multiple smaller chunks of IPs. So there is a purpose of this. I will explain it, like what is the purpose. So in subnetting also, you can create private subnet and public subnet. Now, what is the differentiation between public and private subnet? So let me create this first. So this green line, basically I am representing it as public subnet, and another one, this is another public subnet. So public subnet, let's say 2, public subnet, let's say 1. Now there is another concept of multi-AZ. So this is nothing but your availability zone 1, and there is another, this is nothing but your availability zone 2. So this availability zone will help you to create your like cluster or your application like highly available. So AWS is nothing. AWS has nothing but this. So let's say this is India. So probably in India, they will like AWS will be having multiple data centers in multiple points. Let's say Mumbai, then another one is Hyderabad. So let's say this is your AZ1. If somehow this AZ1 goes down, so you don't want like your application will stop working. So that's how that. So this is the use case where you use your like multi-AZ setup. So if let's say your this completely AZ goes down. Recently, there is an activity happen in AWS. There, I believe US is one of the reason goes down. So this this might happen because it's nothing but like data center working. There might be any use case like they are doing something and their AZs goes down. So this is the reason that you prepare like you architect your application in a way. If this whole AZ goes down, your like application is still be working. So we are like designing for high availability. So this is your public subnet 1 and this is your public subnet 2. Now uh, there is another thing. There is a public and private. So the below one is your private subnet. So let me create this thing. This is also a private subnet. So basically, when you deploy your application in public subnet, now through internet, you configure this virtual machine, and you basically while configuring this virtual machine, you can enable if you want public IP attached to this virtual machine or not. So let's say you are here in your home and sitting and you're using your laptop and this is AWS infrastructure and you have deployed a virtual machine and you got a public IP. So if you deploy any virtual machine here in public subnet, so it will give you a public IP. So you can use that IP and you can basically directly access this virtual machine. But in case of your private subnet, if you deploy any virtual machine here in private subnet, the first thing is that you can configure this thing to access to get the public IP, but you will not be able to reach from somewhere directly to this virtual machine because this virtual machine is deployed in private subnet. So this is the use case and how you basically differentiate between public and private subnet when you create a router. So there is a route table you create and you associate this subnets which you want to associate with this router. You will create a router here, route table, let's say RT. So you will attach this route table with the internet gateway. What you say, internet gateway. So let's take this IG internet gateway. So that's why this virtual machine, if you create this virtual machine, your traffic will goes directly from your internet gateway out to your like where from wherever you are accessing. But when you create your private route table, you basically associate your route table and you will not tell the exit point and you will basically not associate any internet gateway with this. So current, if you see carefully this architecture, your this private subnet is very much isolated and it is not attached with internet gateway. That's why your traffic will remain here inside only. And your like your virtual machine is much more secure. That's why people choose to deploy their databases and their workload in private subnet. That's what we did here. If you carefully see, this is private subnet and this is another private subnet. We have deployed this ECS cluster worker node and your application will be sitting here and you also the RDS like database will be also in private subnet. So, and this is your multi-AZ setup, AZ1, AZ2, and also this is AZ1, AZ2. So, did you guys got all of this point? Yes, no.
Uh, it's more clear, Deepak. I think when we jump to practical, no, so it will
Yeah.
get better, clear idea. NAT is
Okay.
also used, no?
Yeah, NAT, you can use NAT gateway. So basically, if you want to patch this thing, na, you can use
Yeah.
NAT gateway and your traffic will go out through NAT gateway and you can basically patch this virtual machine, whoever, like whatever virtual machine deployed here in private subnet.
Yes, yes, yes. To access the internet via IG, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Uh,
I'm good, Deepak.
uh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. So in NAT, but in NAT, there is one thing. So when you deploy your application here, you cannot directly access your application from somewhere to directly to the cloud. The traffic, when you use NAT gateway, na, your traffic always initiates from inside the infrastructure and it initiates then like your traffic always get initiated from inside only. You cannot access directly like from outside. But when you deploy any virtual machine here, you can basically initiate any connection from like outside the infrastructure. So that's why you can SSH into like this virtual machine directly, which is deployed in public server, but you cannot directly SSH here. But if you are into this infrastructure, you can obviously like they can talk each other, but you cannot directly connect from somewhere directly to this cloud infrastructure or this private subnet. You cannot directly go.
But when I log into or access into public one, that is a public one, right? In a
Yeah.
public, then I can basically try to SSH into public one of the
Yeah,
private,
you can
right?
you can reach
Yeah.
from public to here,
Yeah. Okay.
and you can use this as a bastion, but you cannot directly reach from here to here.
Yeah. Agree on that. Yes. Yes.
Okay, so this is the setup. So let me show you this one. So let me show this thing, how things look. So you can basically go here, VPC services here. This is nothing but you can search from here VPC and you can click this. VPC I have created, and then if you can come here resource mapping, and here you can see subnet, and if you see carefully there is a route table created, and this route table is associated with this private subnet. This one is with this, and this green one is nothing but your public subnet. And this, if you carefully see, this public subnet is directly associated with your internet gateway, the thing which I told you. And if you carefully see this NAT gateway, like this EKS, like this one, this is nothing but a NAT gateway. And this is now connected to your this private route table, and this private route table is connected to your this uh, private subnet. You can come here and you can see route table. If I click this route table, public route table, so how you connect, like the first thing is that you create your subnet. How you create your subnet? You can come here, you can select VPC and then your subnet name, the availability zone, you choose this. Then you basically choose this. Currently it is created. And here you basically provide your cider subnet and then create this uh, subnet. Now let me create another one. Uh, Create then VPC. Let's do this test. Let's follow this example only. So 10/16. So let's take 10.0.0/16. Default tenancy, there's nothing you need to do. All default is like good to go. So here you can see I have created a cider. Now let's create a VPC. So what we have created, VPC we have created. Now this is more challenge. Let's create like cut few of the ciders. Uh, so let's divide 21. 21 means /21. If I do this, so how much the last IP will be this one /21. So let's go here and create subnets. Where create subnet. Then you choose test. You basically I have created this. You check this. Then public subnet 01. Let's follow a high level like HA mode. So this subnet I am deploying here US East 1 A. So basically you can see here 1A 1B. So this is nothing but they have defined here. This is your first availability zone. This is your second. This is third, fourth, fifth, and so on. Currently we have followed this two layer architecture two too easy only because you can the more you expand your infrastructure now you will get a lot of charges. That's why two availability zone will be good to go. Let's take I believe let's divide this thing more. 500 IPs, let's take let's /23. So 1 then 255 /23. So you will be getting 500 IPs. Wait a sec. Create. So this public subnet one I have created. Now let's create another one. Test. Then public subnet. Let's take this as 02. 1A we have deployed, 1B we want to deploy. What will be the last IP? The last IP you will be getting is this. So the next one will be 2. If you carefully see here, this is 255. So what will be the next one? 10.0.2.0. 10.0.2.0 plus 23. Did you guys got like why I choose this? Yes, no, because I know you will be having this confusion. Yes, no.
Yes,
If you
yes.
guys didn't got this, let me know.
What I
So,
have understood, Deepak, so we
okay.
have to the range of 16, that is total IP will be 65,536, right? Amount of that,
Yeah,
we will try to find out which is suitable for us. So we will go for the 23, that is the 500 almost IP, right? So
yeah,
for
yes,
each subnet, right? And
yes,
it will be range from the 0.0 to 1.255, right?
yes.
And then it will be increment to 2.2555, right?
Yes, yes.
For
Since
next
this
subnet.
this is
Yeah.
occupied in first subnet, so what will be the
Right.
next subnet you want
So
to start? You don't
2.255.
want to, yeah,
Yeah.
you don't want to waste any IP, no? That's why just increment this thing 2 and this will be 0. So if you do this, let's take 2 and this will be 0. So what will be your this one? Calculate. So here you can see you start with this and you end up with this. So
Got
what
it.
will be your next IP? You let's say I want 1000 IP for my private subnet. So let me create this thing first. So I
So
have
Deepak,
created this
basically
thing.
it is like the we have created the previous one and this subnet. So both the subnet will be use different IP range.
Yeah, that's why we are defining here. Now we are cutting the IPs. So
Yes.
if you carefully see here, the IP range changes. The start will be this, the end will be this. But if you go to do this 0, the start will be something called 10.0.0.0, then 10.0 dot something dot 2.255. So here you can say no number of IPs is repeating in any subnet. If if you somehow want to do this, this will not allow you to do that because that's hypothetically impossible, na? That both the subnet will have same number of IP. It will create a conflicting of IP. So
Yes.
that's why it will restrict you here only. So this is nothing but a number of series which we are allocating or number of IPs which we are allocating to any subnet. So we can create like another 500. So 4.255, let's take it quite simple, 4.25. But you can play around with this. I believe you guys got the fundamental thing. 4.255. Let's take this. Uh, Private sub. Let's take 01. Uh, let's deploy here. Uh, so create this. Alright. So now I have created this two public IP and one private IP as of now. So the next step is that another you can create private IP on your own, like when you are doing this POC. So another next step, what will be our next step? The next step will be this route table. So creation of route table. Let's create a test public RT. Now choose this VPC. If you now this is over. Okay. So how you basically here you can see there is two public subnet I have created, but how you attach this thing to a route table is like this way. Associate subnet association edit. Then basically you can see here the public this to one I want to associate. So you can basically click here and create. Okay. So add route table. So basically currently I don't want to, but this public route table, and you have to attach internet gateway with that. That's how you make any subnet as a public subnet. This subnet, you want to create a public subnet. So in this route table, you have to mention this IG table as. So if you carefully see here, I have, let me go one of the VPC what I have created. I want to show the route table. If you come here, this internet gateway, let's go to this route table. So how you create any route table? So basically in public route table, you have to mention this thing. Here you can see IGW, this is 0 to 0 0. So that's how you attach any internet gateway with this route table. Before that, you need to create any internet gateway from here. You need to go here and you need to create internet gateway. Then let's say test, and you will create internet gateway. And then the next step is attach to VPC. Then you will select your test VPC and you attach this. Once you attach this, you have to basically this public RT, edit, add route 0 0 0. Then internet gateway, come here and you will see this and you will do this save. So that's how you create like any this whole public subnet as a like this subnet as a public subnet. If you don't attach, it is nothing but a private subnet. So similarly, what you can do, you can create another route table as try test private RT, then select your VPC, then create route table. Then what's the next step? You associate. You go here, you edit association. Then currently I have created one, but you can create another private subnet and you can attach this thing, save. Now here you can see your subnet is there, your route table, this you have created. That net gateway will cover tomorrow, but that's how you do. And if you come here, you can see this. You can see the mappings. This is your internet gateway, and this is your private route table. And this private route table is redirecting your traffic to this public subnet. And this is your private route table. And this is your this private subnet which you have associated with this. You can deploy your net gateway here, which will like redirect your traffic from there to this private subnet, like this private route table to this private subnet. Similar, if you want to see this thing, you can see here. Similarly, the way I have deployed this internet gateway, you can deploy your net gateway from here. And then basically, if you see here, this route table I have created, the private route table. In private route table, you have to mention your net gateway. Edit, then add, then 0 0 0, then choose your net from here. Then it will list here. Then you have to say, as soon as you will save this thing, you will see your like VPC roadmap like this way. Like this way, which you see here. So this is the fundamental concept of VPC and the whole networking part. Are we
Deepak, I
good?
do have one question. So,
Yeah.
public one and public two have the separate public IP, right? To access the internet. When we connect that route table and then route table is connected to the IG, then
Mhm.
how we able to establish a connection? Like which IP address will be get or exposed on the by the application of the IG or of the load balance, means how will be we can.
So when you deploy an EC2, now EC2 will cover. So whenever you deploy, you will basically get, let me show you. So whenever you deploy any virtual machine, you basically see this public IP address and
Yes.
this private IP address. So
Right.
you can use this thing, public IP address. So currently this virtual machine is deployed in my public subnet. That's why
Right.
uh, uh, that's why on and this IP address you don't have control, like whatever IP you have. But the private IP you will get from the pool of this IP which you have cut.
Right.
You will
That it
always be
never
getting
change.
private IP from here, the IP ranges which you have defined from your VPC and the subnet. But
Right.
this public IP you don't have control because like this one you will get dynamically from AWS.
Yes, I agree on that. But when then how IG will establish a transaction to the outside the VPC?
Internet gateway is not establishing you. Internet gateway is basically providing you the path to go outside. Like it is
Okay.
providing you the path. Let's say, so basically, let's say from here you ping google.com. From this virtual machine you ping google.com. So if
Mm-hmm.
you carefully see this thing, uh, let me explain with a simple example. So let's take this one. Come here. So let's take this is your private subnet and you have deployed any virtual machine here. Okay,
Okay.
there's no net gateway. Let me come here. So this is your public subnet
Right.
where you have deployed any virtual machine. So if you inside this virtual machine, if you basically ping google.com, so how your traffic will flow? Your traffic will flow from here, then it will go to your route table. In route table, if you carefully see your route table, you have mentioned your internet gateway as default. So this internet
Right.
gateway. So if you do this thing, telnet ping google.com. You can see here this IP. This IP is nowhere matching from this. So this is nothing but, so if you match any IP which is mentioned inside the pool of VPC, so it will route your traffic internally. But if you see carefully this google.com, this IP is not inside the VPC. So how your traffic will go outside through this internet gateway. This 000 is nothing but whatever IP I will get beyond this, it route that traffic to the internet gateway. And internet gateway will handle, like it will basically uh, your traffic will go from here to the outside world from internet gateway, from here to outside the world. And then it will ping to Google server and you will get response from here to here. That's how the flow is.
But how it will be do in a reverse way? Let's assume that we have deployed abc.com on a public one. Okay. And if
Mhm,
I enter abc.com, okay.
mhm.
So how flows will those the transition? How transition will reach to the public one then?
Public one means like I'm not getting.
No, no,
There
no.
are a lot of things happen. Like if you, let's
No,
say
no,
you
no.
do
The first VM, the uh
the first
yeah,
VM.
yes, yes.
So
Let's
the
assume
flow
that
like,
SYZ is deploy on
so
public one.
basically you, okay. You basically, there is a service called Route 53 or GoDaddy. You will be basically
Yes,
managing this thing from there. So let's say
yes,
xyz.com. So here you will, when you deploy any virtual machine, na, you will be getting public IP. So that
right,
public IP you will be mapping with this either
right.
in GoDaddy or in Route 53
DNS
service.
server, right,
Yeah, DNS server. So ultimately what it will happen is that, let's say here from home, from like home, I have a laptop and I am basically doing xyz.com. I
mm-hmm.
want to basically reach. So ultimately what will happen is that it will go to the, like there is a lot of layers happening. There is a DNS resolution happen. But ultimately what you will get now, what IP you have mentioned corresponding to this, you will get the IP. Okay.
Okay.
Now from here to your laptop, uh, you will get this IP, and now you can directly reach this virtual machine. So when you deploy this virtual machine, you will be exposing that service behind any Nginx web server or Apache, or all of those things. You got this IP, so ultimately your Chrome browser or whatever browser you will be having, like after resolving, it will just uh, send the traffic to your 80 port of this, and then you will getting like your service or your application or front end or back end, whatever thing you have to your browser. That's how the traffic flows goes.
Okay. So in this road, IG is not like event, right? IG is not included for this
No.
means. Okay. So whenever we need to turn it outside the VPC, then IG will be in a picture, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So incoming
So,
doesn't matter.
and
Outgoing, how we do
no,
outgoing?
no, don't understand like this way. Understand
Okay.
like this way. You have a pool of IPs. You have
Mm-hmm.
a pool of IPs. You have deployed virtual machine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wherever, private and public. But let's say this virtual machine, the private IP, I want to ping from, let's say from here to here, from private connectivity, like privately I want to talk. So obviously from this virtual machine, I will ping the private IP of this. So let's say the private IP is 10.0.0 5 dot something 255. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
the traffic, if I initiate from here to here, it will not use any internet gateway or anything. Like it will just uh, like the main route table, the traffic will be inside my private like VPC only. But as soon as you ping the service which is outside your VPC, what
Mm-hmm.
is like youtube.com, google.com, something. But in that case, here you can see in the route table, this this both of this term is nothing but like if you ping google.com, you will be getting IP which is very different from this IP pool.
Right.
So that's why this particular line means whatever IP you get apart from this, just send that traffic outside through this internet gateway.
Okay.
So that's why 0000000 means anything apart from this, just send traffic through this.
Got it. Got it.
Okay, I believe that's all. We'll configure this like VPC and all to the like given AWS account, but conceptually this thing is what AWS networking at a very high level. You guys should go and practice this thing, public, private, subnet, route table, VPC, CIDR, and all of these three concepts. We'll connect tomorrow and talk.
Deepak, can we have that high level diagram of AWS
This one?
on? Yeah,
Yeah, we have shared with Srikanth. Uh, I can provide if you guys like. We can
yeah, it,
post this somewhere, like if Srikanth is here.
Yeah, just share me Deepak, I'll share it.
Okay, I will share like with Ayush. You reach out to Ayush. He will share with
yes,
you all of this thing.
yes, 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 yes. Thank you. Tomorrow will
Okay.
be same time, 7, right?